Welcome to the Pathways to Surrender podcast. I'm Michael Warmoth, and thank you for joining us for this guided meditation. Please note that these meditations are recorded in a tropical setting with the windows and doors open, so you will hear birds and other sounds. Try not to let them distract you from the words. Let's take a moment now to just get settled in, get comfortable and relaxed. Maybe close our eyes and take some breaths and just listen to the music before the meditation starts. In this moment, there is within every one of us a deep stillness and peace that is the presence of the one consciousness within us and around us and through us. That one consciousness is always right here, right now. The experience and knowing of that stillness and peace are usually below our conscious awareness. They are subconscious. Subconscious is what has been pushed down as we fill our consciousness with the egos and identities, thoughts and beliefs and demands and judgments The ego works tirelessly to keep our awareness filled so that what is in the subconscious layers does not reach consciousness. But that is our goal now. That is our task, our journey, to become conscious, to bring the subconscious into consciousness, because that is where the truth is. It's like a basement that we have become accustomed to filling with things we don't want seen in the house. But we have forgotten that we put our treasure down there also. Now we are afraid to look for the treasure amongst all the junk that has collected there over a lifetime. We fear what is in our subconscious. We fear seeing the truth of ourselves. We are afraid to have exposed what we have hidden. But let us be clear. This is the work of the ego and the identity. Ego's ideas about good and bad, and judgments, and condemnations and criticisms have all been collected through our conditioning. And the beliefs that we have developed about ourselves, way we have felt inadequate and unworthy, we have felt that we are bad, that there is no goodness within us. All those beliefs have prevented us actually looking at what is the truth of ourselves. We avoid it determinedly. But what we must understand is that there is no evil or bad to be revealed by looking at who we are. Shame and guilt are the realm of the ego and the identity, have no basis in reality. They are a consequence of conditioning. Conditioning through fear. If we want to truly find peace, if we truly want the truth, must face the fear. We must agree to look inside, to allow what has been hidden to be revealed. Although the act of surrender and letting go could be described as passive processes, where we are actually stopping what we do, there is an active component in that we must make a decision to face whatever there is to face. If we have guilt and shame, we must be willing to see what is at the base of that. Part of the process of trauma and conditioning is that we put things away and forget them. We can't bring them into consciousness. But they are still there. The very act of putting them away causes us to not be available to opening and revealing the truth of ourselves, because there is something in us that says, don't go there. You don't want to know that. You don't want to see that. There's a self-protection mechanism to keep us from being overwhelmed by things we could not process. Now, we're on a journey that requires that we choose to know ourselves no matter what we think that might look like. It is most important that we remember that we cannot do this in the way we have done everything else, which is with the basic idea that we are alone, that we are separate, that we have to know how to do it right. What is actually required is that we consciously choose to trust in a greater power than us to guide us through this process. Actually, surrender our will, our need to be in charge, beliefs about what is right and wrong, what is good and bad. We must make ourselves available to the greater power and intelligence within us. It is difficult to admit that the idea of the ego and the identity has not solved our problem. Being in control has not got us where we wanted to be. But then our goals were much more limited at one point. There was probably a point where all we could do was survive, and that was it. Now, it's time to connect with truth, reality, in order to put an end to our suffering and struggle. Are you willing to hand yourself over to that higher power and intelligence within you? Are you willing to trust and have faith in that infinite consciousness? Every one of our journeys is unique. The path cannot be prescribed. But we know that there are certain factors that are universal, absolute. Know that the truth is in the moment, the present, right now. We know the truth and the ego cannot occupy our conscious awareness at the same time. We have to choose. We have to choose whether to devote ourselves to knowing and claiming the truth, or to claiming victimization and failure and suffering. We have to choose. We know that if we only have faith and control, we will not surrender. We must have faith and trust in that infinite truth within us. So, in this moment, let us choose. Let us decide what we really, truly want. Is it peace? Or is it control? is not unexpected that there's a great desire to cling to control. Let us be clear. It is not an easy process. Our fear of the truth has dominated our life. But if we can see it for what it is, a historical artifact, obsolete, no longer required, there is nothing to fear in the truth. There's nothing to be lost, and so much to be gained. We're not talking about forcing ourselves to do something for the rest of our lives that we are uncomfortable with. It's simply talking about this moment. Are you willing to choose the truth in this moment, just for this moment? And see what becomes of your state of mind. Just for this moment, willing to become still and quiet enough to begin to sense the presence, power that lives within you. Are you willing to give up control just for a moment, this moment? Just to know the experience, truth. If you are willing to devote your mind to the stillness, the quiet within, that power and presence will guide you. If you will just make yourself available, surrender the control. Let go. You're holding on to anything. Be free. Be available. Be in the flow. Of the experience of this moment. We will see that there is nothing to hide, nothing to cover up. And in fact, the The only thing to be found in this moment is the true peace of knowing the truth of yourself. Thank you for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you would like more information on these meditations and teachings, you can visit pathwaystosurrender.com. You might be interested in our other podcast, Pathways to Wholeness. These are episodes of meditative teachings designed to help us move to the next step in our journey, letting go, learning to surrender, overcoming resistance. That's Pathways to Wholeness. Look for the next episode soon. We'll be uploading them every couple of days. See you next time.